Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call, please?
Andrew Sylvester, not here. William Byers.
Here.
Pete Gipp here. Tim Fortier.
Here.
Rick Holtz, chairman here.
Here.
All right, four present, one absent.
How do you guys feel about the minutes from last month?
There's no minutes.
Oh, there were no minutes?
No minutes on the agenda.
Okay, that's why I didn't see them. Any communications, or just
No,
no communications?
no communications, Mr. President.
Okay, I'll call each case by case number, and hopefully you've all signed in at the middle podium. You'll have opportunity to present your case. If you have anyone with you, you can have them speak with you. Yeah. So I will call a case-by-case number and name of the petitioners. I would ask that you come forward, state your name and address for public record, at which time you will be given an opportunity to present your case accompanied by any professionals that you may have with you. After that, we will have a staff report pertaining to each case presented this evening. We'll have a question and answer period for the board members. We will then open the floor for comments, not questions, from the audience. If you are desirous of speaking for or against any case, we ask that you please sign in at the registry in the center of the aisle. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The board will then render a decision either for or against, ask for a deferral for more information or other reasons which we will state, or the board will make no recommendations to the town council. Would you please at this time silence any communication devices, cell phones, or pagers? Thank you. Thanks. I see no old business, new business. Z28UV9-1123, Landmark Sign Group petitioner and Duke of Oil LLT owner, located at 2080 West 81st Avenue. The request variance of use approval from section 21-189-8 in the C3 Highway Commercial Zoning District on .975 acres. The purpose is to allow an electronic message center. Step over there.
Good evening. My name is Jason Moorhead. I'm with Landmark Sign Group, representing Duke of Oil as well. They want to revamp their existing sign. The top cabinet would stay the same. We would transition the current fluorescent bulbs to LED lights. And then they want to remove the they want to remove the changeable copy board that is currently on their sign and replace that with an electronic message center, as well as revamp the middle cabinet to LED lights.
Okay, Sheila, can you read the staff report, please?
Petitioner is seeking a variance of use approval from section 21-189-8 to allow an electronic message center to be located at 2080 West 81st Avenue. The Duke of Oil would like to insert a 8.3 by 5.5 double-face 4-color electronic message center on the existing bottom half of the sign. The top existing sign will remain the same. The electronic message center can be set to dim at night. The petitioner would like to advertise hours of operation, advertise business specials, and announcements. Petitioner will advertise town events upon request.
I'm looking at the our last page.
Yes?
You got the original upper sign. I guess, what's the middle sign? Is it just going to be a stationary sign with the types of oil?
Correct. Where the Valvoline sign is currently, that is also connected to the changeable copy board. Since we're replacing that, we're going to make a new cabinet for the center section that's going to be just a static sign with the oil brands they carry, like they do with most of their other locations.
Okay.
And the one underneath is gonna be the LED lighted changing message board.
Correct, actually, the size of that is 3'5" by 8'3". That's the cabinet size. The viewing area will be 3 by 5. Or, I'm sorry, 3 by 8. I apologize, 3 by 8.
I think it was stated, what, double-sided?
It is double-sided, correct.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Byers?
Well, evidently, you already have power to the existing sign,
Yes, sir.
so do you have to run fiber optics or
No, sir.
Wi-Fi?
No, all the message centers anymore are all data-driven, so just like your cell phone, they run off of data.
Okay.
So there is no fiber optics. The sign will probably use less power than it currently does because we're getting rid of the fluorescent bulbs and replacing them all with LEDs.
Is the top sign, is that gonna be replaced with LED also?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not changing the face, that's why we just made it red, because
Yeah,
we're not, other than doing LED retrofit, there's no change.
I think it's fine.
Mr. Fortier?
Good.
Mr. Gibb?
No, I don't have any.
All right, open up to the audience. Anyone for or against this petitioner? Second time, anyone for or against this petitioner? And a third time, anyone for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, bring it back to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the variance of use approval on case number Z 28UV9-1123.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
William Byers,
Yes,
Pete Gibb, yes. Tim Fortier,
Yes.
Rick Holtz,
Yes.
4-0.
What happens now, Sheila?
He has to go before the town council for final approval.
Okay, I just wanted to
I will let.
get that on the record.
I'll call you, Jason.
Thank you, Sheila.
All right.
thank you.
Thank you all, have a great day.
Case 2, Z29E12-1123, Anthony Blissett Jr., petitioner, and Latita D. Griffin, owner, located at 5599 Broadway. They're requesting variance of use approval from section 21-136 on .358 acres in a C2 community commercial zoning district. And the purpose is to allow a tattoo studio with retail.
Yes, I am Anthony Blissett, and I'm opening 7 rounds for the ability of surrounding artists and shops to have supplies, and it's a real limited supply in this vicinity in Indiana, so I'm opening a supply store and also doing tattoos myself.
Okay, Sheila, can you read the staff report, please?
Petitioner is requesting special exception approval from section 21-136 to allow a tattoo studio with retail to be located on 0.35 acres in a C2 community commercial zoning district. The petitioner would like to operate 7 Rounds Tattoo Shop and Supply Store. Petitioner has completed the yearly bloodborne pathogen training. Petitioner practices all the safety procedures of the industry. The petitioner is a licensed and experienced artist. Petitioner follows the Indiana State Health Department law that governs tattooing in Indiana. This includes that anyone under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. All needles must be sterile and designed for one single use. Artists must wear gloves during the procedures. Any and all surfaces that come in contact with the client's skin will be sanitized with standard cleaning practices. All clients must provide identification and fill out a consent form. The retail store will provide supplies for professional tattoo artists. This will be the first in Northwest Indiana. The tattoo studio is by appointment only. There are 8 parking spaces, and the parking is adequate due to the fact that tattooing is by appointment only. The hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and closed on Sunday. And this is for this petitioner only, at this location only, and for this use only.
Well, I see you have 4 rooms, 2 for piercing and 2 for tattoos. How many employees are you having?
I'm the only artist there. So for the setup, the dermal piercings, like what I have in my face, will be in a different room, and then regular piercings will be in a different room, and then right now, tattoos can be in either one. One of them can be for supplies too, at this moment.
Okay, so you're not having 4 employees and then,
No, sir. I don't have any artists and don't plan on having that many artists under me.
so even the retail side of it will be appointment only?
No, retail is like a regular retail shop. Artists come in and buy equipment.
So are you going to have an extra employee or?
Yeah, for the retail, I'll have an employee to work the retail register.
I don't see a storeroom, and a question where you're going to store your hazardous materials.
That's the very first room, like when you come in to the left. And when you're doing piercings and tattoos, we have little hazardous boxes. They're like they close and open, so the hazardous needles go in there, and hazmat picks them up.
So the ethylene glycose is just stored in the room. It's not in a fireproof cabinet.
You mean like calvicide and stuff like that? Yeah, there's the very first room when you come in. It's right there. And that room is considered for like those type of cleaning
storage
supplies
is-
and stuff. Yeah, storage.
Storage of those chemicals will meet the expectations of the fire department.
Yes.
Myers?
I saw on the layout, it says 7 rounds.
Yes, that's the name of the shop.
That's just the name of the shop?
Yes.
Okay. And then retail, mostly you're selling to artists?
Yeah, to all artists, shops and artists. And
You have to have
they
a
have to have a license or a bloodborne pathogens to purchase from me.
Is that something that they can't buy online then?
Yeah, but by it being, because I'm an artist, I've been tattooing for 23 years, and 9 of those years was in Indiana. For me, if I order, it takes time to get here, and then you got to worry about if the supplies is damaged or if it meets your expectation, or you have to drive 2 hours away to get it. So it would really be lucrative to have it here.
So what you're offering is a face-to-face purchase where they can inspect
Yes, and
materials
you
on
can
site.
actually see what material you would like and actually purchase there. I'll have chairs, needles, machines, inks, and jewelry and stuff like that for them to buy. It's what I wanted as an artist, being out here, somewhere where I ain't have to go all the way away or order online.
Is there a certain age that you shouldn't get a tattoo?
You say what?
Is there a certain age that you shouldn't get a tattoo?
Anything under 18, I think you should wait.
How about-
I really believe that you should at least wait till you're 21, because then you have it in your mind, like, you know what I'm saying, what you want. Instead of when you turn 25, 26, and you see this tattoo that now you want to cover or get erased or taken off.
How How about the older people? You get
The older you can tattoo till you out of there.
100 or what?
Yeah, till you're
Byers,
100, you know.
Schedule an
know.
appointment if you
Yeah.
want to. If it's-
Once you start, I set your appointment up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Gipp,
I don't have anything.
Mr. Fortier, any other ones?
Covered it.
Okay, I'll open it up to the public. Anyone for or against this petitioner? Second time, anyone for or against this petitioner? And a third time, anyone for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, bring it back to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to approve Z 29E12 1123 with the conditions.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a first and a second, and since it's a special exception to be going to the town council, right, Sheila?
Yes.
Recommendation.
Okay. First and second, can I get roll call, please?
William Byers,
Yes.
Pete Gibb, yes. Tim Fortier,
Yes.
Rick Holtz,
Yes.
4-0 approved, Chairman.
So see Sheila later, and she'll let you know when you come to the town.
Thank you, gentlemen. God bless you.
Good luck.
Third case, Z30E13-1123. Michael Purtle petitioner and Kishore Patel for Shrifji Corporation owner located at 6145 Cleveland Street. The request special exception approval from section 21-136 on 3.789 acres in a C2 community commercial zoning district. Purpose is to allow a recovery support service. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Liberty House Recovery Cafe, it is a regional recovery hub that is sponsored by Department of Mental Health and Addictions in Indianapolis as well as Indiana Recovery Network. It is peer led and peer managed on a day-to-day basis. Recovery Cafe, you might think, well, that's food. Not really. We do serve a meal there each day. However, the Recovery Cafe is defined by people in recovery from anything that will impact their quality of life. It may be drugs, it may be alcohol, it may be mental health, it may be divorce. We may have some people that's retired that need something to do, and they come to the cafe to socialize and to connect with each other.
Okay, Sheila, can you read the staff report, please?
Petitioner is requesting special exception approval from section 21-136 in the C2 Community Commercial Zoning District to operate a recovery support service to be known as Liberty House Recovery Cafe. The proposed recovery cafe is one of 15 recovery cafes in the state of Indiana. The cafe supports the development of the mind, body, and spirit of individuals desiring recovery by creating a community committed to love, support, equality, and inclusion. The core components of the Recovery Cafe are provide a healing, provide resources and referrals, meal services, and interaction by playing cards or bingo. The guiding principle of the Liberty House Recovery Cafe are designed to create a safe community in which all value the liberty, which all are valued. The Liberty House Recovery Cafe achieves this by promoting the importance of connecting with love in ourselves and others, showing respect, cultivating compassion, and practicing forgiveness, encouraging growth, and giving back. However, membership is required. Members must attend one recovery circle a week, which is led by a peer coach, be drug and alcohol-free in the cafe space, be willing to give back as a volunteering to help while in the cafe space. The Liberty House Recovery Cafe is open Tuesday through Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and there are 4 peer coaches on staff along with several volunteers at the Recovery Cafe. And this is for this petitioner only, at this location only, and for this use only.
I ask what's in the kitchen? Based on the drawing, doesn't look very big.
Right. The meals are prepared prior to coming to the cafe. I have volunteers that prepare the meals, so they bring the meals to the cafe, and we heat them and serve them. Currently, there's nothing in that space that we'll be using for that warming room. We'll be putting up a deep freezer in there, a refrigerator in there, an electric stove in there, and a 3-compartment sink.
So is this more or less like a counseling center or service?
Well, it's not as much as a counseling center as it is, we're a referral hub. And so when you start talking about substance use disorders, mental health type of issues, stigma comes with that sometimes. And so what a recovery cafe is when people come to the community space and they establish this relationship with each other, they're more prone to accept referring out for services or getting treatment or getting the help that you need. And so it breaks down the stigma or saying, hey, I need help, to a person being more amenable to saying, yeah, I think I'll go get some help or I'll receive the support that you all are giving. So we do not provide professional services there. We have certified peer coaches that walk alongside people and encourage them to get the professional help they need. I.e. today, we had a young lady in the cafe a couple of days ago. She said, why don't y'all provide some type of gun violence training? And I said, you know, that's a good idea. Maybe I can get with the police department to do some gun violence training. She said, no, that's not what I meant. I'm the victim of gun violence. And so she was traumatized. And I said, so you need help. You need some counseling for trauma. She says, yes. So we was able to take her to a trauma specialist today to get cognitive behavioral training to deal with trauma. And so we're one of those places where if a person identifies a need, because they're connected to us, they're more apt to get the help that they need. So we're more of a referral hub than providing services itself. And we have memorandums of understanding with Regional Mental Health, Edgewater, Recovery Works here in Merrillville, Recovery Matters in East Chicago, where if someone comes in and says they do need help, we can do warm handoffs to get them to the professionals that they need to see them.
Who supports this organization?
Department of Mental Health and Addictions, as well as Indiana Recovery Network out of Indianapolis. We just received an award from Doug Herringer from the governor's office. They was down when we did our grand opening here back in May 24th of 2021. And so we're state-sponsored, as well as there's a national sponsorship. I think I sent an email today from a newsletter from the Recovery Cafe Network out of Seattle.
Well, where else are these recovery cafes located in Indiana?
Well, there's one that just opened, I would say, about 2 or 3 months ago in Griffith. And then there's one in Lafayette. There's one in Muncie. There's 2 or 3 down in the Marion County area. And then there's some others down in the southeastern part of the state.
So you're currently not based out of Northwest Indiana? You're coming in here all brand new?
Well, I'm currently at 1351 West 11th Avenue there in Gary. I'm just transferred from Gary to 6145 because it's the location. This location would be more amenable than the current location that we have, plus it's going to give us more space. We're currently tenants of Pastor Dennis Walton is the owner of the building that we're in now. And we'll be leaving a satellite group in his facility, but our main hub will be here at 6145.
Hours of operation are from 1 till 5, 4-hour periods, so there will be no live-ins,
That's correct.
overnight stays.
That's correct.
And is there any security required for an establishment like this?
No.
And how many people would you say would be in the building during this time period?
I would say the average attendance would be about 18 to about 22, on a good day, about 18 to 22 people, because all of our cafe members are required to attend at least one recovery circle week, but their recovery circle could be on different days. And so though we're open every day, everybody doesn't come every day.
How many employees do you have?
I have 4 peer coaches, certified peer
Are
coaches.
they volunteer or do they get paid?
I have plenty of volunteers. I have some of my volunteers here this evening that volunteers to cook the food. We have an agreement with Costco. Every Saturday, Costco donates food to us, and we take that food, we use it, they prep it and bring it to the cafe. Then whatever foods we don't use, we give out to the community.
Nice.
This is a national organization?
This organization was founded in Seattle about 19, 20 years ago. They started networking in 2016 and started branching across the country. But the headquarters for Recovery Cafes is in Seattle. It was started by a lady named Killian.
But you have there are 15 Recovery Cafe locations in Indiana.
In Indiana alone, there are 67 cafes nationwide. 15 of them is in the state of Indiana alone because there is a catalyst called We Bloom. Beth and Kevin Cradle, they travel the state recruiting and looking for opportunities to open cafes. So we were, early 2021, I was contacted by Indiana Recovery Network to ask if we would consider opening a cafe in this area. Because Lake County many times doesn't get the attention or support that Marion County and some of the counties in the middle of the state get. And so they want to strategically put this cafe up here to provide the support for this region. And so if someone called 211 for help, it'll go to the 211 operator, then we get those calls and say, hey, we got a person that called, said they need peer support services. Can you connect and help these people? And we provide those services as well.
And what state organization are you involved with? What state organization are you involved with? The Department of Mental Health?
Department of Mental Health and Addictions, DMHA, and Indiana Recovery Network.
Okay.
They provide the fundings for what we do because the membership of the cafe is at no cost to the people. And so my peer coaches are paid by DMHA and Indiana Recovery Network.
Mr. Gibb?
I don't have anything.
Your attendees provide their own transportation to and from the facility?
If they have transportation, they'll provide their own transportation. We do have a state contract with Lyft where we can order Lyft, provide transportation for our members until that state quota runs out. It can take them to the doctor, take them to the store, take them wherever they got to do to remove those barriers of transportation for people that would need that. If people come in unemployed, we connect with Work One to get them the training they need for that. Whatever it is going to help them with their quality of life, we do it, including transportation.
Sounds like a great organization.
It's an amazing organization. I'm a licensed therapist, but I done retired out of that. I'm a full-time pastor, and so I just go and I enjoy being in that cafe, connecting with the members there. And it's not a faith-based organization. So if you come into the cafe, of which I welcome each of you, you'll hear smooth jazz playing, people playing Phase 10 and just connecting with each other, enjoying each other.
Okay. Looks like there's plenty of parking. I'll open it up to the public. Anyone for or against this petitioner? Second time, anyone for or against this petitioner? And a third time, anyone for or against this petitioner? No.
I don't think she had.
I think I'm confusing Plan Commission and this one. Does it need to have cameras?
He does need to have cameras, but there's cameras there. He's going in a space where Methodist Hospital used to be doing, what did they do there?
That was their billing department. That was
yeah.
Methodist department.
So
billing
it's
department.
cameras there, yes.
Okay. All right, can I get a recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the special exemption for case number Z30E13-1123 for this petitioner at this location for this use only.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Byers,
Yes.
Mr. Gibb, yes. Tim Fortier,
Yes.
Rick Holz,
Yes.
approved 4-0, Chairman.
So we're approving it to, or as a recommendation to the town, so you have to talk to Sheila as far as the next time you gotta come.
Okay,
I'll call you Pastor Purtle.
okay, thank you.
Fourth case, Z31E14-1123. Virij Patel petitioner and Parth Patel owner located at 8160 Mississippi, requesting a variance of use approval from section 21-136 on 1.13 acres in a C3 commercial zoning district. Purpose is to allow a dine-in restaurant.
Good evening, gentlemen.
State your name
So
and-
we are making a Mexican restaurant called Taco Pros. It's based from Chicago. It's a franchisee. It's based from Chicago. They have like probably around 11 restaurants around downtown and Naperville and Niles and Gurney, and we want to bring that in the Northwest Indiana.
And who are you?
Yes, that's
My
right.
name is Breach Patel.
Okay. Address, please.
The address for the location is 8160 Mississippi Street.
Okay, Sheila, can you read the staff report, please?
Petitioner is requesting special exception approval from section 21-136 in a C3 highway commercial zoning district on 1.13 acres to allow a dine-in restaurant to be known as Taco Pros. The Taco Pros is a franchise that began in the spring of 2019 in Orland Park, Illinois. Taco Pros began in a small space and quickly expanded to doubling the size of the original space. Taco Pro is now an independent restaurant with various Chicagoland locations. The menu offers something for everybody from mouth-watering tacos to inconceivable burritos. The proposed site was previously Rapid Fire Pizza and Red Nar Mediterranean. The 4,875 square foot building houses the Jimmy John with 20 seats and Smoothie King with 2 seats. The Taco Pros will have 45 seats and there are 65 parking spaces. The parking spaces are adequate. Most of the business is carry out. The hours of operation are Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. There are approximately 5 employees, and this for this petitioner only, at this location only, and for this use only. And there are cameras there for all 3 of those restaurant spaces.
So you're gonna be running it yourself?
Yes, sir.
I like Mexican food, so I'm good.
Any questions, Mr. Gibb?
I don't have any.
Mr. Fortier,
No, sir.
just samples?
I'm gonna miss Red Nar.
All right, I'd like to open it up to the public. Anyone for or against this petitioner? Anyone for or against this petitioner?
Second,
And one third time, anyone for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, bring it back to the board.
I'll make a motion to accept this case number Z31E14-1123 for this purpose and this purpose only.
I'll second it,
For this,
petitioner,
with the conditions.
for this petitioner at this location for this use only.
Okay, thank you. Clarify.
With the conditions.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
William Byers,
Yes.
Pete Gip, yes. Tim Fortier,
Yes.
Rick Holtz,
Yes.
4-0, Chairman, approved.
Does this go to the town too?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I'll let you know, Bruce.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Case number five, Z32UV10-1123. Anthony Williams, petitioner and owner, located at 601 West 61st Avenue and 6200 Harrison Street. Request variance of use approval from section 21-136 on 5.908 acres in a C2 community commercial zoning district. The purpose is to allow a storage facility. Good evening.
Good evening, Merrillville Board of Zoning. My name, excuse me, is Isaiah Williams. I am partially speaking on behalf of my father and the owner of this property, Anthony Williams, who is also the petitioner. And we are looking to build a storage facility on the properties of 601 West 61st Avenue as well as 6200 Harrison Street. If you aren't familiar with this property, this is the old North Lake Nursing Home Center. We did buy the property some years ago and recently tore it down, which did cost around $183,000. And we do own some other properties in the area as well. And we believe that this would be a good business for the north side of the town.
Sheila, can you read the staff report, please?
Petitioner is requesting a variance of use approval from section 21-136 to allow a storage facility to be located in a C2 community commercial zoning district on 5.908 acres. The proposed location is the site of the North Lake Nursing Home building that has been demolished. The proposed storage facility will have two 20 by 391, 42 feet by 191 feet, and 120 by 421 feet, and 120 by 421 feet, and 120 by 331 feet, and two 30 feet by 391 feet. The entire facility will be fenced in with landscaping. The facility will operate with key entry system. The building that will be facing 61st Avenue and Harrison Street will have brick on the building per the retail design guidelines. The facility will have lighting and security cameras throughout the development. Petitioner will also hire Merrillville Police for additional security. Petitioner will have to go through a variance from developmental standards to allow multiple buildings on a single parcel. For this petitioner only, at this location only, and for this use only.
Now I know what that construction is. I was gonna ask you, Sheila. I saw construction going on
That,
Harrison, so.
that construction, they are putting a road in for the
Filer
Filer
Elementary.
School. So that's that construction. They're putting a road in to,
It's going into the school?
yeah, they're putting a road in for the school to decrease the traffic. I don't know if you've ever been out there. When school is starting at Filer, it's a lot of traffic, so the Merrillville Community Center, School Corporation is putting a road in, so that's what that construction is.
Yes, okay, so that's
extra.
further south of that. Okay. How many storage units? I mean, I could see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buildings. But how many storage units?
I believe we're planning for 200 plus. Obviously, we have the plans there, but once construction starts, things can change.
Well, no, are you looking at 200? You looking at 300, 400? Because it's a pretty massive project.
It is a big project, but as I said, it could be anywhere from like 200 to 300.
are the sizes of the units?
They'll range anywhere from 10 by 10, 10 by 15 to 10 by 20.
And there won't be any outdoor storage, all internal?
Yes, that is correct.
It's all asphalted?
Yes.
Who's that?
I'm
Oh,
Ma'am,
Anthony Williams.
We'll
the-
call for public comment, and then you can come on up and speak.
Can you state your name again?
Anthony Williams,
Anthony Williams?
right.
Okay.
I'm the owner of the properties.
You have a full-time employee on site?
Yeah, we'll probably have about 3 or 4 employees, including the Merrillville Police that's been working for me for the last 18 years.
And he gates open automatically?
Exactly, with the kiosk. Yes, sir.
And then they can go in any time of the day or night?
Yes, sir.
The lighting is pretty fair?
We're gonna have it lit up right, like,
Okay.
pretty bright. Yes, sir.
Where would the office be for the employees?
We won't have an office for the employees. We're just going to have it'll basically just be a kiosk right there, a kiosk where they can come in and, we'll operate it from across the street pretty much.
So you're having 2 kiosks at both entrances?
Yes.
So have you consulted an engineer on this or anything? The reason why I'm asking is, when somebody brings a project to the BZA, and they go, well, we could have 200, we could have up to 300, that's a wide variation. I would think you'd already have your buildings calculated on square footage, and that would give you the necessary calculations to figure out how many 10 by 10s, 10 by 15s, 10 by 20s.
We're working with Morton Builders right now, and right now you could, it'll be approximately maybe about 235 units on each 3 acres. So it might be 230 on 1 acre, and it might be 230 on the other acre. We'll have to see. That's why he was saying earlier, we'll see how it goes
So
as far as
500 units?
maybe about 460 units.
People just don't have enough room to store their stuff, do they?
It sure doesn't look like it.
Is this project going to be phased in, or are you doing it all at one time? or-
Pretty much phased in as we go. We'll see what the need is as far as once we get started.
Which one are you going to start first?
Probably the one on Harrison.
Have you talked to Matt Lake about or any engineering on what the size?
I have, yes. I spoke with him already.
And he's already looked at your retention pond?
Yes, sir.
How do the people rent these? Do they rent them online or do they do face-to-face?
Pretty much rent them online or call in, and then everything is paid for pretty much by credit card.
We'll have multiple ways of, contact, where you could do either online, kiosk, or if they need to meet someone face-to-face. That's an option as well.
Do you have other storage facilities?
No, sir.
Right now, this is are they 2 separate parcels?
Yes, sir.
So at least the one looks like the building is going to cross parcels?
Yes. It's,
Can they do that, Sheila?
So he would have to go through a variance from developmental standards, but he would also, when he goes through that, he would also have to have, by that time, would have to have his engineer to know where it's gonna be, because if he's gonna, or he would have to decide whether he's going to do a one-lot subdivision and put it all on one lot. Because he wouldn't be able to build it like it is now. He would have to do a one-lot subdivision and put it all on one lot. But he still has to go through the variance from developmental standards to have more than one building, even on that one lot.
Okay.
What building material are we looking at? Wood, metal, brick?
Probably metal and brick, possibly brick.
Probably.
Possibly brick, but right now, probably metal. We're talking with Morton Builders right now.
What type of fencing will you have around it?
Just regular chain link fencing.
Familiar with this area, but there's another business that's right in the middle. What is this other business? Is this a store?
That's, you're talking about next door?
Yes.
That's the old Ross Clinic building. I think that's the one you're talking about, 61st.
Well, with all the parking here.
Oh, that's, I own that banquet hall. We own the banquet hall across the street. Yes, sir, that's our banquet hall.
Okay. So any customers that would come that they do not have a unit, they would have room to park?
Oh, yes, plenty parking.
Okay.
So Sheila, right now, we're just looking at approval whether or not,
So right now, you're looking at whether you would want to have storage in that area. Or because the town of Merrillville, we don't have you have to go through a use variance to get storage. So if the Board of Zoning Appeals doesn't grant him the variance for having the storage as all, like when we went through with the other gentleman, then there's no need of them going through spending the money to have it all, to go through the one-lot subdivision. So that's, so right now, we're looking at the zoning.
okay, that's what I was surmising, so, but I just wanted to confirm that. Okay. Mr. Gipp, any questions?
No, I don't have one.
Any other buyers for Tier? All right, open it up to the public. Anyone for or against the petitioner, please come forward to the, and Mr. Williams, please step back.
Okay, so the
Your
question,
name and address?
sure, my name is Lisa Avalos, and my address is 803 West 62nd Avenue. So the reason I'm here is because I have some questions to ask, because this has happened to me before, where I lived in unincorporated in Illinois, in Will County, and they put an LA Fitness in my front yard. I went from a nice unincorporated area to where I could have bonfires and everything, to where my front yard was lit up like the morning sun all the time, because they put a business in my front yard. So I'm just curious as to how this is working, because you guys don't put anything up there. I don't know what this property even looks like. All I know is that it's adjacent to my property. What does that mean? What does this look like? Where are the entrances? Where are the, how is this adjacent to my property?
Are you, you said 62nd? Mm-hmm. Is that the very first street south?
So there's 61st and Harrison, and I'm 62nd. I'm where the sign where it says it's the Cozy Candy Shop, and it's a building, and it's all the woods, and like you said, where they're building down the street, where they have all the construction for the school road that they built. So is that the property that they're talking about? I don't.
Yeah, basically in between that new road and the.
So all those
Sheila, do you have a
trees,
map
all that's
to
gonna be
show us?
knocked down? So all the lovely deer that I get to see, all the pretty wildlife, I'm gonna get to look at chain link fence and all that out my windows?
Well, he's gonna have to have some sort of landscaping
Well,
buffer.
there's gonna be a landscaping plan with it. It's not gonna be chain link fence and buildings, I can tell you that. So, but.
Where's
have
the
to tell-
entrance is gonna be?
Sheila, can you show her?
Because I mean, you guys don't send us anything, we don't see anything of what this looks, you know.
Ma'am, we sent you notice as required by law.
I had a letter, that's
Yeah,
all I had, there were no
that-
pictures.
That's what's required by law. We send out notification so you can come here and educate yourself on the project itself.
Right, but you don't put anything up to show us what this looks like.
That's
I can't picture this in my head, I mean, do you understand what I'm
We're
saying?
taking out a map, we're taking down a map to you right now.
And I appreciate
Yeah,
that,
thank
I do, because I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know what you're talking about.
So you're here,
So I would be here,
and this is where they're talking about the-
so all of this would be, so this happens to me again. So then this will hurt my resale value as well for my home, because who wants to live next to this? I mean, and this would be an entrance here by my house. So, okay, so that stinks. Okay, thank you, appreciate it. One more quick question. How bright are those lights gonna be? Because he said about having it real lit up. I mean, is it gonna be real bright all the time by my house at night then? If I'm right there?
It should not be, because he's gotta have,
I mean, I just would like to be able to sit out on my deck at night, be able to sit in my backyard at night, because I'm literally right on the road. Okay, like I said, you know, I've only been here a year, my first home I've ever owned. I just kind of want to enjoy it. And I'm just trying to I'm just pleading to you to just kind of listen to what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm asking.
okay. We appreciate it.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, if I can explain it to you. My son lives right across the street from the location. We owns the banquet hall, and we've been there for 20 years, the Chateau Banquet Hall. And we're getting ready to invest about $1.5 million back into that. We own other properties on that street also. He owns the property, we have a house right there, about an acre. It's on an acre right on, 500 West 61st Avenue. Plus, we own the apartment units, the duplexes at 601.
601
And we own the
61st.
house at 616. Whatever we put there is gonna be beautiful. We're not gonna do anything to mess up the neighborhood. We're gonna do things to improve the neighborhood. And so I don't want you to feel as though you're coming over here and we're, you know.
It's like, oh my
No.
God, it's happening to me again.
Yes, we're gonna only improve it. It'll be nice. Everything will be nice. Now, you said you're right over there by the candy place?
Yes, where the sign is, I'm
Right.
right there. You know, I watch the deer come out all the time.
Right.
You know, and the traffic over there is insane.
So you're across the street
I'm
on,
right across
on
the
Harrison
And
Street.
that traffic is terrible right there. I just saw an accident the other day,
Mm-hmm.
coming out of that parking lot, because people don't pay attention. And it's insane over there. So
Right.
I'm worried about how that's gonna impact over there.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right, anyone else for or against this petitioner?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Richard Hardaway, 5500 Jackson Street here in Merrillville. I come out tonight to support this endeavor for a litany of reasons, primarily because the nursing home was there for a lot of years. And once Mr. Williams bought it, then it was still sitting there looking vacant, and finally he tore it down. Once he tore it down, then he had to figure out what he was going to do with it. And he thought about a lot of things that he wanted to do. Now, Mr. Williams has been in business, as he stated, for 18 to 20 years at the Chateau, for anyone here that's familiar with the Chateau. And he employs Merrillville police officers, only Merrillville police officers, at his facility. He employs Merrillville High School students as workers, busboys and such, and waiters and waitresses, and he helps send those high school kids to college. So he's been nothing but an asset to the town of Merrillville. And as he stated, he owns various other properties within the town, and he's done a lot of community give back to the town. And so I think that this project that he's bringing forward tonight could only be an addition to once was a blighted area that we felt for years needed to be torn down. And now you're looking at the woods that's right there on Harrison Street. That's been there. That property was for sale for probably 20 years or so before he purchased it. And now he's looking to build something there. All of this, we talk about enhancing the quality of life for the residents in the north end of Merrillville. This can only enhance that. And not only will it increase property value, but it will increase the appearance of the town when people go down 61st Avenue, when they get by Filer, and also when they come down Harrison, and they see the much improvements that are there. Right now, when you come down Harrison, all you see is a bunch of trees and clutter. Once he tears all of that down, then we'll be proud to be residents in the town of Merrillville with what he's proposing. So I strongly support that, and I'm hoping that you guys will give it a favorable recommendation tonight, so when it comes before the Merrillville Council, then they'll give it a favorable recommendation as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Give it one third time. Anyone for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, bring it back to the board. I do have one more question. Can you do the project just on the one lot without tearing down the woods, or do you need both lots to do it?
Well, we would like to have both lots to do it, but right now, we could probably put the storage units up on 61st Avenue as of right now, across from our banquet hall. Like I said, I'm investing, and I have invested in this community. And so I'm not going to do anything to hurt the community. For years, it was the Knights of Columbus. For 20 years, 30 years it was there. And I put this place back on the payroll. With the Chateau. The Chateau's been on the payroll now for over 20 years.
I think what the petitioner's trying to say is the KFC is a 501c3 not-for-profit.
Right.
They paid no property taxes.
Exactly.
When the petitioner bought it, it went back on the tax roll. So
That's right.
He's been paying property taxes on that entire piece of property.
Yes, that and on the North Lake nursing home. That was off of the payroll, off of the tax,
Tax roll.
the tax roll. I put that back on the tax roll and been paying taxes on that property. And we have properties across the street where we pay taxes on. I'm paying a lot of taxes in that area, a whole lot of tax. Like I said, I got a business there that we've improved back in 2016, where we put a $1 million addition on the banquet facility. Now we're getting ready to put another probably $1.5 or $6 million addition on it again, because it is supported real well throughout the community. So we're investing in the community. We're not trying to do anything to hurt your property or anybody else's property. We're just trying to improve the area to make it nice for everybody.
Okay. Can I get a recommendation, please?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we give a favorable recommendation for the variance of use approval on case number Z32UV10-1123 for this petitioner at this location for this use only.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Byers?
Yes.
Pete Gibb, yes. Tim Fortier?
Yes.
Rick Holtz?
Yes.
A 4-0, Chairman. Approved.
So we'll be going to the town, so Sheila will let you know when.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Case number 6, Z33UV11-1123, High Tech Self Storage LLC, AKA High Tech Storage LLC, petitioner and owners, located at 240 West 79th Avenue. Request variance of use approval from section 21-136 on 2.55 acres in a C2 Community Commercial Zoning District. Purpose is to allow an existing self-storage facility for future owners. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Mark Anderson, 9211 Broadway in Merrillville. I'm here on behalf of the petitioners. Just as a little bit of history on this matter, in 2017, the petitioners' owners, Martin Schreibeck and Brian McShane, who are sitting right over here, petitioned the BZA for a use variance for self-storage. In October of 2017, the BZA recommended that use variance, and then in November of 2017, the town council approved it. So right now, the petitioners are looking to, I should say, since that time, the petitioners have redeveloped what was formerly the South Lake Nautilus property into, it was a health club building after their tenant left, to a climate-controlled self-storage facility. They've also added perimeter security fencing, high-tech lighting, electronic video monitoring, and other access requirements. So they've been operating the facility for a few years here peacefully and without issue. They're looking to sell the facility at this time. And so the request that we had provided initially and filed was for, to extend the use for this petitioner at this location only to future owners. And so we had a meeting with Commissioner Pettit and Dan Brown, and also Sheila Shine with respect to this. And so where we understood that, we don't want to have an unlimited future use of all future owners to have a perpetual right for self-storage. And so we talked with Councilman Pettit in this respect. So the proposed owner in this case is Global Self-Storage. They have another facility located at 6590 Broadway. It's just to the north of the Dean and Barbara White Center. And so they're looking to purchase the property. And so we had talked with the councilman about reducing our request to allowing for Global to come in as a future self-storage use at that property. We've received pushback since we met, and actually from Global asking that we try to ask for an unlimited future use for all future owners to have self-storage facility. But and so we understand the circumstances, and so we're trying to figure out a way forward here with this. This came up at 4:09 today when I found out about this, that they're asking for this. And so trying to figure out some way to reduce our request.
My question is, does the property conform with all current Merrillville ordinances?
So that's a good question.
You're kind of tiptoeing around an issue.
Yeah. I can tell you about that issue then too. So yes. So we also had a meeting with Dan Brown and at the same meeting with Commissioner Pettit, and we are working through any other approval-related issues, and they will be taken care of. It's not within the scope of this use petition tonight, but rest assured we are working on that at this point in time to make sure that everything is taken care of with respect to the entire property. We understand it's got to be up to snuff and approved by the town. So, but I know that this use variance is just for, again, just talking about for future owners, and so that's why, I don't mean to tap around the issue. We're going to get it done. We're going to resolve it. I just don't think tonight's the place where we can get that done.
We'll get into the issues, guys, under public comment, trust me. Mark knows that.
That's right.
Mr. President, I'll let you continue.
Sheila, can you read the staff report, please?
Petitioners requesting a variance of use approval from section 21-136 to allow potential future owners of the existing self-storage unit and climate control units to also use the property for this purpose. Petitioner Owners Marty Schreibeck and Brian McShane petitioned and received a use variance to allow them to use the property for self-storage on November 14, 2017. The petitioner received town council approval with the condition of, for this petitioner only, for this location only, and for this use only. The property has been used for self-storage peacefully and without issue for over 2 years. The petitioner has significantly invested in using the property as self-storage and would like to extend the usage and investment to allow potential future owners of the property to also be allowed to use the property for self-storage. Petitioner is requesting the condition placed on the property be removed.
And again, we would like to amend what our petition is to back off our request for unlimited future use. You know, one thought would be to allow for global U-Haul or other reputable and established self-storage operators, but that may be too much of a request then as well. We understand that.
I rarely come across this, if ever, in my 6 years here, where a petitioner's making this kind of request. And I've never heard of an unlimited use. I've never heard of an unlimited use for certain retailers. This is very strange, I have to tell you.
And so, we're here to work with you, I guess, with respect to that, and again, back off the request that was made in the unit itself. Again, right now, of course, we would still want to have our existing petitioners continue to be able to own and operate the facility, you know, because they may not actually sell the property. But again, we're here to work with you, and we're looking to at least have global self-storage have the right at this location for this property to have the right to have self-storage activities there.
Well, hold on. If you're going to speak, step up to the microphone, please.
Brian McShane, Munster, Indiana. We're requesting this based on the buyer who wants to buy our property to have that capability. So it's not something that we can control. It's preventing a sale if they can't get it. So I don't know exactly what we should be doing in this case.
Are you voicing questions to me?
Anybody on the panel?
What?
Anyone on the panel, I'm asking.
We kind of ask questions, we really don't answer them.
Okay.
So that's one thing. I suggest you probably let your lawyer speak for you.
Sure.
And he's handling it pretty well so far, I gotta tell you. You've hired a good one here. So I think he knows what he's doing. He's learned from the best.
All right.
So.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we're here to answer any other questions that you may have. I know that Councilman Pettit would like to open this up for public comment. We'd be happy to respond. Or if you have any questions, then too.
So I'm really confused on, if they sell the property to Globe, would they use the same building, or do they want to put more storage facilities on the property?
My understanding is that they would like to keep it exactly the same. If there were any changes to the property, then they would come back and make requests.
So I think, excuse me, if I could say, I think the problem that the Board of Zoning Appeals is having, attorney, is that the future owners should be coming, asking for a use variance. That is,
Yeah, this is
future
why,
owners,
this is
that's
why I
the
said in
problem.
7 years, never seen it.
That's the problem that they're having.
So hopefully that clears up the confusion for your client.
Yes, that's the problem that they're having. As I discussed with you when I first received the variance, why isn't the future owner saying, and then that way, they could say it's used as a self-storage, and the future owners want to use it as a self-storage, and we know who they are. I just want to be able to clear up why they're a little confused, that's all.
And that makes sense. That's exactly right. That would typically be that the owners would sign off, and then we'd have petitioners that would sign off as well, and actually be presenting the case. In this case, Global has asked that the owners move forward with this on their behalf. So that's why we're coming forward before you tonight. And then the other thing is again, this Global is just up the street here. I mean, it is a facility that is well-run as can be seen, and so they're a known commodity. We at least we believe in the town, and has done a good job in having self-storage services for the town. But we do acknowledge that this is a little unorthodox just based on what this Global has requested that the owner do.
It's no different than a restaurant coming in and asking permission to sell it to someone else. That's what it sounds like. It's like you're asking us permission to sell this property. When it was, the last variance was given, it was for this petitioner at this location for this use only. If they want to sell the property, they can sell the property, but if the new owners wants to do something with it, they have to ask the same permission.
So the new owners, are they concerned that we would say no?
I don't think so. I think that they'd be interested in just carrying on their same tech activities that they've done up the street, and we just expanded the area. They're in 8 states. They've got locations even in Illinois and Indiana and throughout the Midwest. So I think they are a reputable self-storage operator, like I indicated.
I got a question. I think it maybe pertains more to Sheila. If they go ahead and sell the property, it's just a matter of changing ownership. It's not changing the type of use for the property. True?
No. For this petitioner only at this location only and for this use only is something that's a condition that's put on so the town will know who they're doing business with each time ownership changes. So what they're asking you to do is to just don't worry about who they're going to who they're going to sell it to. They want to be able to have it storage for future owners.
How hard is it to make that change once somebody buys the property? Is it that big of a deal? They just come back before the board, right?
We do it all the time.
We do it all the time.
Restaurants,
Yeah, so it's easy.
for
Yes.
retail stores.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Anderson, I don't know.
No, I think that's right. So that's why we'd be asking on behalf of Global.
So are you representing both?
I represent the owners who are asking that Global Self-Storage be allowed to also, if a future owner of the property be allowed to.
You're asking on behalf of these guys, you're not representing Global?
Not representing Global, no.
Okay. So eventually I was gonna ask Sheila, how come Global's not here asking for this, but, all right, any other questions, Mr. Byers?
Oh, I'm good.
Mr. Gipp? Mr. Fortier? No, sir. I'll open up to the public, anyone for or against this petitioner?
Okay, guys, you guys know I'm Sean Pettit, I'm the Ward 6 councilman. As Mr. Anderson alluded to, we've had 2 meetings on this project. Let's go back in history. It is, in my view, as an elected official, extremely, and I told Mark this and Marty, extremely important that this condition not be removed. I created this condition so we would know who's doing business in the town of Merrillville. Again, Brian and Marty, if you guys want to sell the property, they come back in, they go through this process. It's very simple. We're not going to say no to them, but I'm not going to relax that condition, okay? Secondly, and more importantly, guys, and this is really sticking in my craw, during the pandemic, we had approved, and Rick, you were on the plan commission when we saw this project, to put pods out on that parking lot. They didn't pay any building permit fees, which Marty knows I'm extremely upset about, to the tune of $19,084 is what's been calculated by Dan Brown. This will not go to the council, guys, until that fee is paid in full to the town of Merrillville. Am I clear? Again, this is coming to me and the rest of the council. You can see how emotional and adamant I am about this. Here's the other problem we've got, which I probably should have said in front of my other colleague. You guys and the council and the plan commission come next year, we're going to have a heart-to-heart sit-down. And we brought this up at plan commission, Rick, and I brought it up in the council. about self-storage in the town of Maryville, all these uses. I can rattle off 14, 15 different projects. Where's the market? When is the market gonna saturate? These guys are there. I don't have, these guys are existing. But the petition before that, Rick, we got the 2 PUDs that Mark's representing with Storage USA. I just found out building permits for Louis Aguilar were issued in Broadfield. We got sued by a guy because we put a self-storage in the old Strachan Van Til, and then he turns around and comes back to the Plan Commission and Town Council with hat in hand, wanting extensions and certain circumstances, right, Rick? So the question becomes.
After we soundly defeated him.
Right.
At the appellate court.
So the thing to keep in mind, and more than likely, if it's for global, and I asked the same question, I don't know if it was Mr. Byers or Rick, you asked the question. I told Mark to have global here tonight.
No.
I don't like that they're not here.
Here's what's confusing me about this whole deal, and it's done all the time. I work in business and corporate transactions, okay, as well as municipal. You can make a condition within the contract to have all governmental approvals have to go through before the actual closing takes place. So I don't understand what the hangup is. If Global comes in, puts in the application, and they go through the process, and they get denied, no deal. If they come in, they go through, and they get approved, then there's a deal. I think that's the way the contract should have or could have been written.
Well, and Bill asked a good question, Joe, about, they're already there. Yeah, we do have a snag with the pods, and that's, again, gonna be solved immediately. Okay? And South Lake Nautilus Building was there, and we knew he was gonna do inside storage. So it's not gonna change, Bill. This is, I hate to use this terminology, guys, and I know we're taping the meetings, but if you guys sold the building, and in January, Global came in and filed the same petition you're filing with these guys, it would more than likely be a rubber stamp and Global would be approved. But we're gonna do it one at a time. We're not gonna open up a blank checkbook to these guys. So you guys Mark, you guys gotta figure out this land transaction. I don't care, but again, these conditions are put on these special exceptions and use variances so the town knows, these 5 guys, the 7 of us know who's doing business in the town of Maryville. It's that simple. And I'm not gonna waver from that condition. I created it a long time ago, had a discussion, Pete, you remember when Mabel was here. We had these discussions about, if it's been a restaurant, it's always gonna be a restaurant, but we still wanna know who's doing what in the town of Maryville. It's that simple. I don't think it's a big ask. What bothers me is when petitioners come in and they say, Sean, what's it gonna take for you to support this project? And when I tell you guys what it's gonna take, well, we wanna have unlimited users. No, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you this petitioner only, at this location only, for this use only. And the only reason I'm really on my soapbox, again, Marty, as I told you in the staff meeting, I'm not happy that you guys put the pods out there during the pandemic and didn't come in and see Sheila and Dan to pay building permit fees. Again, that's gonna be solved. So there, Mr. President, I've probably said too much. But something to think about, you guys, seriously, for next year, Joe, we've gotta have that discussion about some of these land uses in the Maryville momentum.
Well, no, what we need to do, Councilman Pettit, is maybe concentrate a bit harder on the criteria that we issue these variances of use to, and start to delve into them a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, they're in every one of the 7 wards. You heard one in Richard's ward. This one's in my ward. It's already existing. We got, pick one. We've got the PUDs coming in, final PUD, Rick, at the Plan Commission next month for one in Rick Bella's ward, one in my ward that Mark's representing. They're all over town, and it's just, Tim, I think you made the comment about people have a lot of stuff. Yeah, they do, but are we going to allow that land use, because they've got a lot of stuff and people can't purge stuff, we should change our land use policies in the town of Maryville. What do we want to see? That's where it comes from. So, again, as we turn the page into next year, the new term with the new council and this Maryville momentum, I encourage you 5 guys and Rick, the Plan Commission, we're gonna have to get together on some of this land use stuff as we move forward with our consultant, Sheila. We really do. So I think these guys will take care of it. Hopefully, Global does not have a problem, Brian.
Well, they do, so I can't change their mind.
Well, they're an existing business operating in the town of Maryville though too, and
It's to their benefit.
I hate to say it this way, I know they're probably paying someone, pick up the phone and call Sean or call Sheila as Global. I don't see these guys, and that's problematic. That really is. To me it is, I don't know. how these guys feel. They're gonna vote, they're gonna recommend it to the council, so I'll sit down and shut up. Right, Joe?
Never tell you to shut up, Councilman. Maybe be quiet.
You talk about storage, didn't, the apartment buildings and stuff off of Whitcomb, aren't they wanting to eventually build storages over there?
At Liberty Estates, Rick?
The one where the bad curve is off of Whitcomb?
You talking about?
Randy Hall.
Randy Hall. Aren't they talking about storage back in that area too?
That was not in this phase. He hasn't phased.
Not in this phase, but I thought he was looking at storage there too.
I think he's talking, Rick, more like what's over at BRS across on the west side of Whitcomb, those metal FBI buildings. I think Randy's thinking of bigger buildings like that, not self-storage.
Not like that?
Yeah.
All right, well, we did once, anyone
Hold on,
else?
hold on.
Oh.
Let's give the attorney a chance to respond to the public comment.
Thank you, Councilman. Yes, we look forward to working with you moving forward here on this. There's no doubt about it. You know, the request, again, we got kind of caught at the last minute here at 4:09 PM with respect to potentially trying to expand a request. It goes back to just asking if Global would have the right then to at this location, for that owner only, if they were to purchase the property, to have the use, to be able to use the self-storage use at 240 West 79th Avenue. So that would be the request for recommendation. Again, I realize it's a little unorthodox to be the owner and making the request on behalf of a potential buyer, but again, we think that Global, of all the potential buyers out there, is a known commodity in the community and has done a good job in the community.
Yes.
So can I?
Yes.
I guess, and Craig could probably hear me from here all the way up in Gary. What I would recommend, gentlemen, and again, this will come to the council, so it's gonna be Global only. So in 9 months, if Global decides to sell it to Pete Gipp Storage Incorporated, Pete Gipp is gonna have to come back in and file this petition. Is that the understanding you're presenting to the BZA?
Yes, that is our.
So we're gonna waive this requirement one time, so these guys can sell it, but Global is gonna be out there. I don't know. You guys have to think about it. I'll have to think about it in 2 weeks and see. You guys send it to the council how you want to send it, I guess. At the end of the day, they're already operating there. It's a change of ownership. I suppose we could live with it. I might want to consult with Joe a little bit and Sheila a little bit more. I don't know that there's a detriment. I don't know what you four guys think. I want to listen to what you think. I don't know. But at least it's on the record now that it's only gonna be Global, which is better than any future users.
This discussion's gonna be incorporated if there's a favorable or positive recommendation. This whole proceeding is gonna be incorporated into this as a condition. Again, you four.
I don't know, it seems like it's half-baked.
Okay, do a second time, anyone for or against this petitioner? And one last time, anyone for or against this petitioner? So we're at least looking at to say, not for any and all future owners, is for only Global if they so desire to purchase this property. If they don't purchase it, there's no approval.
That's correct. The only thing would be, again, if they don't approve it, purchase it, then of course, we get to have the existing use with Mr. Schreibeck and Mr. McShane as owners continuing to use the property for self-storage.
Well, the existing use is not gonna go away, so.
Would we have to defer this to have this rewritten properly instead of just having it entered into record?
Here's the problem you run into. You're probably looking at, they wanna close before the end of if they're gonna close, they wanna close before the end of the year. probably they've consulted their tax and finance people. So it'd behoove us probably tonight, if we're gonna do this, to just go ahead and do it. They can try to get the approval on the 12th from the council, then they can hopefully be clear to close before the end of the year.
Does the property, other than the permitting fees, need to be upgraded, or is there anything that,
It doesn't have any violations on it other than
there's
that.
no other violations other than?
Permitting fees,
No.
that's a separate issue. It'll be taken, it's out of our purview tonight, so.
No, but I was just wanting to make sure, for some reason, I thought I heard that there was drainage issues, or there's no other issues there, Sheila?
Drainage.
No, there are no other violations there except for the other storage units was put up without a permit.
Okay, no problems with the fencing and,
No, the fencing is fine. They got a permit for the fence.
all right, so I need a recommendation. No recommendation, and then they just present it to this town. Or we can
Well, you can make a positive recommendation, you can make a negative recommendation, you can make no recommendation at all. So those are your multiple choices tonight.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve transfer of use approval to Global Storage for case number Z33UV11-1123.
And if the transfer occurs, it's for that petitioner at this location for that use only. And the existing use, if it doesn't close, will still go back to the current owners of the property, which is High Tech.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there a limitation, time-wise?
No.
Years? It's forever.
No. I mean, either they're gonna close or not gonna close, so I'm not.
I'll second that.
That's true.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Can I get a roll call, please?
William Byers,
Yes?
Pete Gibb, yes. Tim Fortier,
Yes.
Rick Holtz,
Yes.
approved 4-0, Chairman.
So
Thank you.
positive recommendation with the exceptions to the town.
With the
Thank you.
conditions.
So Globe owes you guys $200 for not having to come in here to do that.
Yes.
Don't worry, just tell Anderson to send him his bill.
I want to know who their attorney is, Mark.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, are we?
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Not until we wish Sheila a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Sheila. Yes, that's right, last.
Yay.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I had to spend my birthday with you all.
Aye.
All right, bye.
All right, well then, make sure you don't go in there tomorrow. Tell her that Jeff Gaines has $50 amount based on.
Thank you, Nick.
How do you know I didn't cook it earlier?
Hey Sheila? I misspoke in my comments. It's 19,084 square feet that they put out there, so Dan's gotta, calculate that based on that square foot, 19,000 square feet. Whatever the fee is on that is what they owe us.
I can send you
Not
an email with
$19,000. I think I gave Ryan a corner here.
So Dan's gonna want a set of plans.
Yeah.
He's gonna use that. Okay?
No, I want the 19,000.
Rick wants